Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening? Today is August 15th, Tuesday. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law all 50 states of America and across the world, helping you solve your immigration problem. All right, today's question is, could my previous lawyer or current lawyer done better for my case? Now, I know there's a touchy subject. Most attorneys don't like talking about this. We certainly don't want to step on any other professional's toes and rub any people in the wrong way. But y'all, I got to call some people out. I'm not going to name any names, of course. And, we certainly I hope every attorney tries their best, of course, and their support staff and team members. But at Team Law Group, we really focus on the wellness of the team. If any team member is not doing well, it doesn't make sense for them to continue working on a case in that given moment, right? Or like in a client meeting, we want to get people have ready. And that's the thing with lawyers, a legal law firm. We always think like, yeah, it's like we're supposed to be like Superman or Batman and all that, like superheroes. We're not. Okay. We're here to guide you. Okay. Now, the thing is, we also provide realistic expectations. And that's the thing about other law firms, is that some law firms don't provide any expectation. And that's pretty lousy, in my opinion. And maybe because people don't ask, right? So I encourage you, whether you contact our office or another law firm, ask that law firm or attorney, what is your communication policy? How soon will you file my case? When is the next time I should expect to hear from you? All right. So those are some broad examples of questions you should ask, aside from, am I eligible to apply for residency or visa? Of course, that's important too. But you also need to know how you're going to, your expectations of the case itself, but also expectations of working with the law firm, right? You hire them for a reason. And, it's very difficult. It's just human nature, very stressful and difficult to reply to emails in like 30 seconds, right? So we have a 24-hour to 48-hour policy. For the most part, my team is great and able to respond much more quickly than that. For the most part, but there's every once in a while it might take more than a day. All right, so it's all about managing client expectations. I'm not here to discourage you from hiring a lawyer, of course, but to encourage you to be more mindful of questions to ask, because sometimes, every time someone is in a strategy session with us and they don't really have many questions. And I started to think, well, what was the point of meeting with me, right? And from what I understand, it's about assurance. Number one, legally speaking, to make sure that person is eligible. I get that. But especially if you're considering to hire a lawyer, not to say that you have to want to hire a lawyer to have a strategy session with us. That's not required. But we're here to guide y'all, point you in the right direction, if anything. The thing is, if you're considering to hire a law firm, you really need to dig in deep and investigate that law firm. Now, it's not saying you got to search the web, like just the deep web or whatever you call it. I don't even know what I'm talking about in that sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. Read the Google reviews, okay? You can just quickly scan, okay? It's very important. We're very fortunate. We have about probably over 300 between Google reviews and also like avo.com. Take a look at it. We really care about customer service, but you really need to know these questions to ask another law firm, whether it's about immigration or something else. All right. Again, I don't like to step on any other professional's toes, but also if you're in the middle of a case, or like I just see someone's comment, Mark Murray, Lord, you made the mistake of hiring an attorney who had just started. So again, I'm not trying to, you're not indicating this, but not trying to take a case away from someone else, but you just need to be mindful of those type of questions, even if you already hired them, right? ask. What we do personally, or not personally, but with our team, is that as soon as someone authorizes our team to start on a case, so they sign a contract, we have an automated email. We use technology, because imagine if you're waiting for, even when we use technology and automation, we're not replacing jobs. So I just want to be absolutely clear. We're using technology, automation to provide better customer service. That's the key for us, okay? Very, very important. And in that automated email, it's basically a welcome email. It reminds people of what I'm sharing with y'all, customer service benefits, how to email us, what email to use, which phone number to save, because sometimes we call, y'all sign up, we call you for an onboard call, and no one answers for like a couple days. So we're like, okay, well, we don't want anyone to think we're not on the ball, right? To get y'all started. So you got to save the phone number. So hopefully you pick up. All right, that's the goal. So I can go on and on about that, but some ideas about communication policy, what questions to ask about that specifically is, if you're considering to hire a lawyer, ask these questions. What is the best way to contact you? How soon should I expect a response? And then, what are the ways I can schedule a meeting with you, right? We're post-pandemic, we're in a virtual world in that sense. We have a physical office, we can meet clients, but most people don't want to drive anywhere. So if they can save money, especially gas can be expensive, depending where you're at. So we allow you to self-schedule an appointment. A lot of attorneys, I share this tip to have a website link that people can self-schedule. Everyone's scared. I don't know why. I mean, I think it's better for customer service, saves time from you having to call in or email in and say, hey, when's an attorney available? Or who can I talk with? Like, that's a waste of time. We just give you the link and you just self-schedule, okay? I'll take a break from that because you probably have some questions. I see some immigration questions, which, by the way, if I'm not able to answer your question here on the live show, you're welcome to give us a call, or you'll speak to one of our care team specialists. They're not lawyers, okay? If I had lawyers answering the phones, it would be really, really, really expensive. So, so please know that. And because a lot of y'all ask legal questions, they'll give you some guidance, but don't take it as legal advice. You really need to speak with lawyers. So they will see if you're qualified for a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you, okay? Free 15 minutes. The best way to do that, there's a couple ways. You can go to our website, greencardguys.com, click on Contact Us, and there's a couple options there. Option number one is to qualify for the free 15 minutes. But if you mention this secret code, okay, green card is the code for today, okay? If you type in green card, or you text in or send us a DM, whatever it is, because maybe you're at work or you're driving. I found that out from one of our followers here from TikTok. They were driving and had it open. She had told me that she was only listening, not looking at the phone. So, but please drive safe. But yeah, that's an example. Just send us a DM if you're busy. So DM or direct message green card, and you'll be prioritized if you qualify. There might be some scenarios that we can help through a free guide that will email you the link, and it may not be necessary for a strategy session, at least quite yet. You need to take a look at that document first. That could be enough. But if you absolutely want more than 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or an hour, we do charge a consultation fee in that sense. So that's, I think, option 2 on our contact page. Now to the questions. Good afternoon. What would happen if you missed the biometrics due to not getting the mail? So we've had clients where they just showed up and they allowed this. It's subcontracted out. They call it the ASC, Application Support Center for Biometrics. So we've had clients successfully been able to go like another morning. It doesn't necessarily have to be the next day, but if you absolutely want to be sure to make sure that your drive to that office is worth it, because it can be far from you. Depending where you live in the state, can be far. So, but if you're very far, at least 30 minutes away, I would definitely call the contact center, USCIS or customer service hotline, to see if you can get it rescheduled. So it's an automated bot, I guess you can say, in terms of USCIS. So try using the phrase reschedule biometrics and see if that gets you somewhere. Okay, hopefully that helps. All right. What's up, Boo's wife, Campbell? Nice to see you. Yeah, we're talking about all things immigration related, and here answering any questions that you may have. All right, so I'm here on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So I'm trying to stay tuned here. Maria is our moderator on TikTok, so thanks, Maria. And how timely. Boo's wife, Campbell, do we do green card? Yes, we do help with that, whether it's for family-based or you have a company sponsor you, or you're applying as what we call self-petitioner, aka national interest waiver application. So yes, we help with that. And where's our office? In Houston, Texas is our main office. We do have a colleague, a friend that shares the office with us in Dallas. Let's see. Anu on YouTube. Why can't the government do a background check on old fingerprints? Why are fingerprints needed every year or two? They just have some rule. I think it's like 18 months or so. But during the pandemic, they issued out a notice saying reuse biometrics. But lately, it's not. They're not doing that as often. So I don't know internally how they're picking who they're reusing biometrics or not. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous because not like you're going to be morbid and like have different finger. Like I don't know. It's just weird. I think it's silly. Okay, Katie, what's going on? Welcome back. What happens if VAWA case gets denied in court? So that'd be VAWA cancellation removal. It's a lot more flexible in a sense because it's more broadly in terms of discretion. It's more broad. So, but if it's denied, not of course, not saying this to say that you would be approved. Of course, I don't know your case, but if it's denied, then you'll be order removed. Okay, unless you're eligible for something else and you notify or your attorney notify the judge in advance before the trial. Okay, because you can't. Let's say you have the trial in that VAWA cancellation removal, and then the judge says you're denied, and all of a sudden you're like telling the lawyer, "Hey, let's do this." Some people might try to do that. Like that's not really how it works. We can try to. We'll mention that worst case scenario, but we always prefer if there's an option 2 as a backup plan. We want to have those documents ready to share with the judge at the trial, okay? Because otherwise the judge is going to be like, okay, bro, like how come we need some evidence, proof of what you're talking about? Like maybe you're trying VAWA cancellation removal and you're saying, oh, I got married recently and I'm about to file the petition or something like that. So you got to have some kind of proof, at least a marriage certificate. Oh, that's cool. Thanks for that. Hand heart. I don't even know what you call that. Sorry, I'm kind of new to TikTok. Anu database size issue. I think it's an issue all over the place, like workflow, something like that. I think they're just all government U.S. immigration agencies are just concerned about background security in general, or they claim to be. A DZA trail F1 case, family category plus overstay. What are the chances? The chances, well, that's kind of a broad question. Chances of what? Getting approval in general, or I don't know what stage you're at. Is it petition stage, like pending there, but in general, anyone that tells me this kind of note about family preference category and you overstay visa, you need to be qualified, you need to be eligible for a waiver, 601A waiver, because you're not going to be able to, typically, most likely, you're not going to be able to adjust status in America. Even when your prior date is reached or shows up or is past the prior date on the visa bulletin, the issue is failure to maintain status for family preference cases. So the expectation that you're gonna have to go abroad for the visa interview, aka for the residency status. But before you do that, you need to apply for the waiver, 601A. Not everyone's eligible. You need a spouse or parent who's a citizen or a resident. Okay. Unfortunately, children, adult or minor do not count, even though they can't file the petition for you. Murray, yes, I am a licensed attorney. I have my own law firm called Ting Law Group. You can check us out at on Google. Type in on the internet greencardguys.com. Greencardguys.com. Okay, you can find more information about us. What would happen if they ask me to see a level 2 officer? I think you're talking about the USCIS customer service hotline. You actually prefer to talk to a level 2 because they just somehow get things done more quickly, I guess, or they just get straight to the point, right? So level 1 is more like just sharing basic information, or the kind of like if you say you want to change your address, they'll say, okay, you can do that online. Because otherwise, honestly, it's a waste of time to call the hotline. It's automated in the beginning. It's frustrating. You can easily do it online. It'll take like 3 minutes, maybe. Okay, so hopefully that helps. But I don't remember the reason why you need to talk to USCIS. It's Mia. App Kim on YouTube, AOS. You got AOS file, but you need to travel back to home country with advanced parole because your father passed away. Our condolences to you, App Kim. Is it safe to travel? Number one, only if you have advanced parole approved, the 131 application approved. And then the other thing is that, based on AOS, fortunately, they're not picky about we just put in there the purpose of travel in general on that 131. We just put tourism, visit family, right? We just keep it simple that way. Whereas for like DACA or other TPS, it requires to be more specific. And is it safe to travel? The other thing you need to consider is, have you been arrested or convicted of a crime? An arrested meaning maybe your charge is still pending, even though not convicted. In that sense, generally not safe. And it's not so much about traveling out. Government's not going to stop you from traveling out. The ticket agent, the agent at the gate, right before you get onto the airplane, they're not going to be the one to stop you for the purpose of advanced parole. Advanced parole is what allows you to re-enter the United States legally. So that's why. So some people have actually left when they should not have, legally speaking, and that triggers, generally for most people, the 10-year bar. Okay. By the way, does anyone know what this is on TikTok? It says like someone sent TikTok universe to someone else. I'm a little confused by that, actually. But anyway, not a big deal, of course. You overstay by more than 3 years. So yeah, that would trigger the 10-year bar for you, App Kim. So hopefully, yeah, I'm sorry, the timing, I'm assuming for you, App Kim, that your 131 has not been approved yet. So try to call the contact center. I don't think Emma is up yet. I don't know what happened to Emma, the USCIS website chat. It's supposed to be a real person. Whenever we used it before, it was you could tell it was a real person. I didn't think it was like ChatGPT or anything, but it was just a lot more efficient with Emma. So I don't know what happened to her. I hope they bring her back. Comment down below if you've used Emma recently or before. Okay, App Kim, you got approved already. Great. So hopefully you don't have any criminal history. And yeah, make sure to bring your physical card, okay, the travel document card, and also the official notice. Because we've had clients lose the official notice. It feels like currency, the original notice. So bring that stuff in your luggage, make sure it's safe, and your card, of course. But yeah, if you lose it, you're gonna have to pay for another one at the consular embassy, and I think it's like $600 to $700 possibly. So, but at least you have proof of it, okay? So and that's when. So when you're coming back, that's when the gate agent will give you a problem. By the way, if you don't have that kind of documentation. Okay. Mel on TikTok, what other options do you have if you weren't selected for H-1B? So I think Mel, that USCIS just issued, I think 2 weeks ago, the second round for H-1B selection. So in case you didn't know that, please check with your attorney, your company's attorney on that one. But assuming you already did, And then I don't know your timeline, but now it's mid-August. You know that the next registration is March 2024. But I know that's not what you're asking because you already know that. So that was for other people. The thing is, depending on occupation, depending also your country nationality. So Mel, welcome to give us a call. The problem, folks, I'm not supposed to share my work information on TikTok because I got banned for like 5 minutes earlier this week or last week. So that was super frustrating. I don't know how people do it, but yeah, go to greencardguys.com and find information there. Okay. But yeah, that's the kind of conversation that's definitely needs one-on-one to understand your degree, work experience, things like that. I see a comment on IG, so I'll get to that soon. Ismail, it was a question. From this question, you missed your oh, that's right, you missed your biometrics for 63 days due to missed representations from your preparer. Okay, you said preparer, so that sounds like a notary or consultant. So I hope everything was filed appropriately, correctly to begin with. You only maybe need to definitely speak with an attorney when you maybe have an RFE or notice of intent to deny. But if you have the feeling that you didn't provide good amount of evidence for marriage, for example, bona fide marriage documents, then you want to be ready, okay, to prepare for that. Not saying you have to file it now unless you file it online, but yeah, just be ready for that. What does let me hop over to IG real quick because I said I was going to answer their question. Why Believer Scrum? Did you change your name? Because you look familiar. Why do USCIS send out prima facie? What prima facie stand for? Essentially means it's a legal. I think it's Latin for basically, we learn in law school, prima facie means like on paper, you're eligible. So, but you're not approved yet. So, from my understanding, I think in just generally speaking, they allow that so that you can get your work permit. Of course, you still have to file a separate application, but otherwise, I think it's more for internal purposes. I don't know the policy reason on doing that. Yeah, that can be confusing because the term PF determination makes people believe that I've been approved, but that's not the case. It just essentially, legally speaking, from USCIS words, it's when a supporting evidence has basically shows that you meet each eligibility requirement for that self-petition VAWA, for example. And you can start, the main reason, so you can start receiving public benefits, okay, from the state or the federal government. But otherwise, that's really about it. It doesn't mean that you've been approved, okay? So yeah, that can be a little confusing. Good afternoon, Candy. Good to see you. Okay, hi. Can undocumented fly within USA, like Philly to Cali or Hawaii? Huge risk, even with valid ID. I haven't had clients try that to Hawaii, so I can't give you that experience. But of course, it's technically it is part of the United States. It's one of the 50 states, but it's not domestic. It's still intercontinental flight technically. But so I can't recall. I did go to Hawaii a couple years ago. I should remember this. Next time I have this personal experience, I need to verify if people have to go through customs at all. Yes, even though you're a U.S. citizen. Okay, or other people. Let's see. But yeah, in general, you can fly domestically. So the Real ID Act for ID, Real ID Act, I believe that's going to come up in 2024. Let me check real quick. For identification purposes when you travel. When will a Real ID Act be enforced? Okay, so enforcement date is May 7th, 2025. So even though you may have an ID through your state right now, even if you're undocumented, you definitely want to check this website. You just Google search Real ID Act, the dhs.gov website should pop up. Make sure you pick that one. Okay. And TSA probably has information on this as well. But yeah, all states are supposed to be Real ID Act compliant. So I don't know, maybe where you live in your state, they might make it more difficult to get an ID again or renew it, especially if you're undocumented. But some states, I think there are a few states, allow people who are non-residents of that state to get an ID. So some food for thought in the future. Okay, Tasha 32, what does RFE for medical mean if your interview is going to be waived? Oh yeah, so that's what it means essentially, at least in 2023. So that if you do get a RFE for medical exam, pretty much only, then most likely at the time of getting that, your interview is going to be waived. That's just been our experience. Cannot guarantee for you, but yeah, that's been an experience. Okay, what happens if you get pregnant when applying for spouse green card since you can't do a medical? What we have clients do, we've had a client like this. We asked the physician, or the client asked if we advised the client to ask the physician to complete as much as possible. The goal is to indicate to USCIS that we're trying, okay? And of course, we'll provide a copy of the sonogram, pregnancy documents, things like that. And it's worked out. So hopefully you got all your vaccines that you needed already before you're pregnant. So that will be difficult. If it's a vaccine situation, you can file and you don't want to take a vaccine. Maybe not because of the whole COVID thing, but more so because you're pregnant now, and you want to apply for a waiver. Basically say you don't have to take the vaccine. The waiver for vaccines or any shots say that you don't want to take it because of religious reasons or moral reasons. If it's just because you don't want to take it or pregnancy, that's not good enough. You'll be just wasting your money on that waiver. I think waiver is like $715. So, oh wait, it may have gone to 900 something. So, Candy, congratulations to you. Finally got your citizenship interview note. Yeah, it's wonderful. But your issue is they misspelled your name. What can you do before interview? Call, they're not picking up. Yeah, they don't like to pick up. Sorry, buddy. So, Candy, what you can do is that you update them at the interview. Okay, you update them at the interview because they actually do ask you to make sure the spelling's correct, and that's when you tell them, I actually need to correct it. It's incorrect on the notice. You just want to make sure you provide the correct information, spelling. And they actually do ask you, even if you on your application you check mark that you did not want to change your name, they usually still ask you at the interview. But keep in mind, if you want to change your name to any name, whether first name, last name, you're going to be delayed, most likely more delayed to get the oath ceremony. And that's because any name changes have to be done by a judge, a federal district judge. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to change your name a different time, you can do it through your state family court or civil court. Okay. Hopefully that helps. All right, Anthony. Sorry, Mary, just switch over to IG real quick. Anthony, hi. After approval of I-360 as a religious worker, can you still file the next stages? It depends on the visa bulletin. Depends on that. Ostrich, how much do I charge for consultation? This is actually a great question. It's a good segue. We offer a consultation strategy session at no cost to you for 15 minutes. Now, if you want more than 15 minutes and be guaranteed on that, then you need to go to our website and I think select option 2 on the contact page, and they'll take you to those payment options in that sense. All right. So, but yeah, we do offer our secret code, by the way, if you want to be prioritized and you do qualify, if you qualify for the free 15 minutes. Not for everyone. We get a lot of inquiries, and some we just say, sorry, not right now, not ready yet. Because some of y'all are case delayed, and it's only been like 2 months, and y'all excited to try to get to the next step. We don't want to waste your time, and that's too early, but our team will let you know when it would be more appropriate to file a lawsuit, for example. So, but we'll email you a free guide if you're not qualified for the free consultation at the time. All right. So the secret code for today is green card. Okay. Green card. So DM us if you don't want to forget, and you can give us a call later. All right, AD Drogba on TikTok. Can you file VAWA after second denial with same spouse? After second denial, well, what we have to know what is the reason for denial, right? So great question. A lot of people ask us to maybe refile their case, and we always want to look at to understand what was the reason USCIS denied you in the first place. Very, very important. To know, so we make sure we cure the situation that USCIS was worried about or concerned about in the first place, and that's the reason they couldn't deny. But I do recall that someone was denied VAWA that we spoke with maybe a month ago by now, and we looked at the reason. It was because they filed it too late. So for anyone who has been abused physically or emotionally, verbally, financially, and you get divorced, you have a deadline. It's 2 years. Okay. Do not. So that's the other reason I'm on this live show, is trying to encourage y'all. Do not wait. Okay. I know, I get it. You might have a financial budget concerns, things like that. But in general, just aside from the money part, some of y'all have plenty of money and not worried about that. It's just mindset. Like, I don't know why people delay and delay. So, which, by the way, if you contact us, we may follow up and contact you, see if we can help you out. But yeah, some people. So if you're denied AD for that reason, but more than 2 years after divorce, then yeah, it's too late for VAWA. Okay, sorry. So a situation like that, if someone's not legally eligible for that, then you need to consider something else. Maybe it's like employment based, and see if you have a qualifying relative, because a lot of y'all on the live are in America and may have overstayed. I'm not Kwame. How long does it take to receive work permit after fingerprints at the ASC location? Generally speaking, it's like 3 to 5 months. It can take a long time, unfortunately. But the good thing is that they finally USCIS has changed the path, like the track internal workflow. It used to be that the green card case would take a hell of a long time because it required the biometrics first, and to get those other like work permit, travel document approved first before they moved it on. Now is what we call bifurcated. They separated out the internal workflow. So lately in 2023, we had like roughly half like already approved for the green card before the work permit's even approved, right? So just something to consider. All right, if you're of course concerned about working legally. But if you're married to a U.S. citizen, hot tip, you can work without a work permit. USCIS automatically waives any unauthorized work. Now, on the flip side, with your HR, human resources, they're supposed to give you an I-9 instruction page, or they give it to you online or via email. They are not supposed to ask for specific legal documents like a work permit. You're supposed to just provide them anything that's listed on the primary section or secondary evidence for identification. Employers are not supposed to ask, but essentially, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to sue them? Like, is it worth it? You're trying to get a job from them. So does it make sense to sue them? That's the catch 22. So just sharing this in case anyone who's on the live who works in HR or you're an entrepreneur, just let you know, yeah, you want to know that. It's very important. Do not ask for specific IDs when asking an employee to complete I-9. But the other thing is, for people who are wanting to work on the I-9, do not check mark that you're a U.S. citizen when you're not a U.S. citizen. Okay, please, please, please. That could potentially, in fact, I'm sure there's cases from the past that someone has done that and try to fight the case and try to argue that you're not a U.S., that you weren't trying to falsely claim to be a U.S. citizen. Of course, my argument is that you're not trying to get it for immigration benefit, but technically one could argue, just trying to play both sides, one could argue that working is an immigration benefit. So yeah, just do not check mark U.S. citizen on the I-9 if you're not a U.S. citizen. Same thing goes with what was I going to say? Thanks, Badru. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the comment. He says that John Ting is one of the best lawyers you know. Yeah, happy to help with mandamus. So we helped Badru with the mandamus lawsuit. His asylum application was pending for at least over 4 years. So, and we had people call us as they've been waiting 7 years. The reason to file a lawsuit is to speed up your case, only if it's considered unreasonable timing. Unfortunately, there is no list that says, oh, in this timing, this is when you file. So if you don't know, you're welcome to call us, DM us, whatnot. We'll let you know, okay? Badru, I mentioned this last time. I need to give you a call. Apologize. Hope you're doing well, Badru. Let's see here. Candy, absolutely happy to help. Which, by the way, if you got some value from this live show or the previous ones, please tap the screen on TikTok or IG, the hearts. Hit me up with some hearts and likes because I am losing my voice almost every day. Okay, so trying to get it back. On YouTube, you forgot traffic tickets under 545 Biometrics case. What can you do? I don't know. I mean, is that like a fine under $500 and you forgot to let them know? You just update them on the, if you have an interview, update them on that because you do have the opportunity to update the application. For that, usually for AOS, they don't always ask, so you want to be proactive. Oh, speeding ticket? Speeding ticket. I'm pretty sure the 485. You want to check the 485 application again. I think there's a in parentheses that says other than speeding ticket or something like that. So check that out again. It's like pages 18 and on. All right, so back to TikTok. My stomach is growling too. You guys hungry? Is it lunchtime? Where are you at? Where are y'all watching from? I'm always interested how far each of these platforms has gone. Let's see, or the algorithm and all whatnot. So, by the way, yeah, if you actually spoken to one of our CARES team specialists, if you don't mind and you got some value out of that, you appreciate it, please go to reviewtinglaw.com and because they really care about customer service. And if you don't mind, mention their name. Just type in their name because our leadership we do provide them bonuses at the end of the month. So yeah, very important. Very important. Okay. It's very customer service, very important to us. Sorry, I'm like thinking about two different things at the same time. Okay, Anu, you are considered applicant. Petitioner means like the actual sponsor if there's going to be a beneficiary, two people, but yours is a self-petition, which is can be confusing. I don't think they would reject any application or something if you accidentally selected petitioner versus applicant. Haven't had that situation, but technically we would call it check mark applicant for I-360. Okay, and also for the 45 for you if you're following that. Okay, user on TikTok, just submit your AOS app. How long does it take to get the receipt notice, the receipt number? Yeah, very important. Typically 3 weeks to 1 month. Man, my stomach is growling pretty loud. Hopefully you guys don't hear that. It's like a freaking, ooh, man. 12:41. I can be on for another 5 minutes if my stomach can help it. All right, so let's see. Let's see. I'm going to see here. I'm going to try to pin this comment right here, Maria. I don't think I answered this yet. My wife is pregnant. No, not my wife. No more kids for us. We're done at 2, by the way. How many kids do y'all have, if you have any? We're stopping at 2. No more. No mas. Okay. Okay, I'll go back to that comment. Sorry, that question. Nikki, how long is a New York office taking for swear-in ceremony? Interview was approved, but it's been 2 months. Yikes. Okay, so there's unfortunately no timetable for that. But yeah, our office in Houston. So generally it's like 1 month or 2. So yours at 2 months in New York. I mean, I do suspect, of course, there's way more applicants. Houston's, I think, a top 6 most populated cities. But yours is New York, so right. So there's a lot more people. So if it's been another, I hate to say this, but if it's been like 6 months at least, um, definitely, or even 3 months. If it's been 3 months, call USCIS and ask them what's going on. Okay, or you can DM us and I'll ask my colleagues in New York, but see what's normal. But if it's been at least 6 months and still nothing, you've tried to submit inquiry and done all that, then contact us and may have to file a lawsuit. We've actually filed lawsuits for this kind of scenario, and people have been approved. People haven't received a decision, but you've been approved and you're still waiting on ceremony. It's just like, it's really just USCIS is inefficient. They've lost it, possibly. Hopefully not for yours. Okay, Nikki. Maria, can you pin this other comment for I'm not Kwame? My wife is pregnant and she's a citizen. Will that speed up to get your work permit early? No, it's not. Children have nothing to do with it. With this, which is interesting because when people don't have children and USCIS would send RFE, usually one of they give you like a short list of suggestions, what kind of evidence to provide. Like, oh, your children's birth certificate. Duh. Like if I had a child, I would provide it to you. But like, why? That's just kind of like, it's just kind of ridiculous that they would do that. They even mention that, but it's just their copy and paste list. But with that being said, for people that don't have children, don't feel bad in any way. I know it's difficult to have children in general. I'm cognizant of it. But I just want to share, I just definitely want to be clear. Having a child is not required to file a petition or even speed up your case. Unfortunately, for those who do have a child or are pregnant, I wish it could speed it up for you, but it's just that fact alone does not speed up the case. All right, Shandish, your case is under review for immigration officer. Will decision be shortly? I have no idea about your case. I need more details. Is it with USCIS, with 485, or is it State Department, embassy, or consulate? Typically, and which embassy? But I hate to say this, but U.S. government discriminates against countries who are in the Middle East. Shocker. And also Pakistan and Nigeria. Shocker. I hope you're not surprised, but I just lay it out there. It's very important for y'all to know that, so you are prepared for any ridiculous RFE, NOID, or 221G delay. Okay, administrative processing. Safana Bafana, you're at Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Are you a cheesehead? Are you a Green Bay Packers fan? Even if you watch football, probably not. But Mufaka, I'm sorry, I pronounced your name wrong. Moafak Alamari, your progress for marriage AOS is showing 10 months, but you keep hearing about people getting approved in 3 months. Shoot, how's that possible? When did you file your case? So you're probably talking about the when you logged in your My USCIS account. There's a new feature they started about a couple weeks ago, I think, or a month ago. Yeah, it's not accurate. So for better or worse, don't pay. I wouldn't put, if you had to be if you're a betting person, I wouldn't bet money that it's going to be accurate. Okay. So, because most people, when they comment about it on the live show, they say, oh, it's like, it shows 2 weeks. That's like, come on, delayed for various, or maybe for almost no reason. But internally with USCIS or State Department, I think for no reason, they wouldn't tell anyone, but they would just claim, well, they do tell you all, they just claim background security check. So, yeah, that's interesting. Yours said 10 months, whereas most people tell us that like 2 weeks or 1 month. But either way, I don't think it's accurate. I just don't think, obviously the government has access to technology, spend millions of dollars, billions of dollars on technology, but somehow they don't use it for USCIS cases or State Department. Hey, they updated the website. It looks better. But yeah, I mean, is there a way that they can update you more accurately? You betcha. I mean, I would hope so. I mean, Domino's was able to figure it out with spending millions of dollars on our Domino's pizza tracker. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Domino's, so I'm not saying it's good pizza or not. Good luck to your decision on eating pizza in America, which, by the way, I know there's a couple people in New Yorkers, Pizza in New York is amazing. Okay, you got to go check it out if you haven't. Chelo Suarez, what can I tell you about job visas for teachers? J1 is an option. Okay, J1, but typically it's not up to you to choose, right? If you're the teacher or the foreign national applicant, it's really about, and so some people, they contact us, whether you're a teacher or other position, and whether it's actually a small business or quote unquote large business, most companies don't even have a lawyer in general, not even employment lawyer, which is kind of concerning to my opinion. But but even if they had an employment lawyer, like a corporate lawyer, they typically don't have an immigration lawyer, right? I mean, you have an interview, they probably have no idea about immigration process or options. So if you're an applicant, like in that situation, we're happy to talk with you first or with the point of contact with the company, HR or the school, for example, to explain those options. But yeah, J1 or H1B would be the two top options, okay, for a teacher. Anu, difference between a case number, visa number, and EAC number and CAC portal. Yeah, so the EAC number is more for it's for the petition, like step number 1. Let's say in your case, I think it's I-360 filed. But yeah, hopefully it helps. Whereas the other case number, the first one you mentioned, that's for the National Visa Center. That is for the CEAC portal. Okay, so completely different situation. So even if you inputted the EAC USCIS number to the CEAC portal, it's not going to work. Okay, I saw a question about, let me hop over to Sandish. Sorry if I mispronounced anyone's name. 485 case with USCIS. They're making decisions shortly. Okay, that's right. I asked this. You followed up. What does it mean? They are making decisions shortly. Is that what they told you? They're making decisions shortly? That's pretty specific. I mean, fairly specific. When did you file yours again? Did you tell me? But yeah, if it's a marriage case, then generally 3 to 5 months. But can't promise for everyone. It depends on what kind of evidence you provided. Is it sufficient bona fide marriage evidence, things like that. So I know everyone's concerned about time, and that's seems like 50% of the questions here. Welcome to DM us about that. But if it's what you think, like been a hell of a long time, you're probably right. So if that's the situation, you definitely want to call us, DM us, however you want to contact us, and ask us if the timing that you waited since you filed the application or certain time period, let's say after an interview, it's been like a year, still no decision, contact us. Maybe you filed a silent application and it's been like at least 4 years, contact us. If you've had a, let's see, like an N400 decision, like I said earlier, and you already got approved, but still no OSR amount, and it's been 6 months, give us a call. If you've been denied the N400 application, by the way, then you need to file N336 for rehearing, which goes to a different officer, by the way. So that's a good thing. But we recommend that before you file a lawsuit, okay? Which, by the way, they're supposed to make a decision or have the interview again with you for N336 on naturalization, become a U.S. citizen within 120 days, okay? And in general, on the USCIS policy manual, if they mention if you apply for naturalization N400, they're supposed to make a decision in 120 days. And if they don't, they explicitly state you can sue them. Okay, it's a mandamus case, unreasonable delay. In all other scenarios, they don't actually write in any kind of like written text format on a policy manual or anything else that you can sue them. But for N400, they're very clear on that. Okay, they welcome it. So let's go. Let's get your status. Okay, folks, so we've gone on for almost 50 minutes. If you're just now joining now, we do offer a strategy session for 15 minutes, no cost to you. You're welcome to, I recommend you use a secret code so you get prioritized because we do get a lot of inquiries. So it's the secret code for today is green card. Probably could have guessed it. So, but it's only valid for today. So give us a call, contact us, text us, DM us, so you don't forget, because you could be driving like the person I was speaking with this morning, and which I thought was which was cool. But like, yeah, safe driving. Okay, don't watch TikTok and drive, or YouTube, please. I've done it before when we're idle in the car, but at the traffic light. But I shouldn't do that. Should not do that. Can I check? Can you check on your USCIS manual? How do you do that? Yeah, you go to USCIS. Just Google search USCIS case status and just type in your or copy and paste your receipt number. But it likely, for most people, will tell you at the bottom below that will say, "Oh, not basically something like not ready to submit inquiry or not available yet." So, and it'll tell you when, based on your receipt date, when you can submit inquiry. As of now, maybe in 6 months that date might change depending on processing times. Switch over to YouTube real quick. How long are I-730 applications taking the process? So let me share my screen on this one. I believe it only has one service center on this one, but let me check. I'm at the uscis.gov website. Click on tools, resources, click on processing times, or you just Google search it. And then, okay, they do have 2 service centers. So Pella, if you have a specific one, let me know. But this one says 13 months for Nebraska. Let me click on Texas, and 22 and a half months, right? So it's a hell of a long time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We file lawsuits on this too, and sped up. Not saying that it's been like a month and then we file a lawsuit. No, we've had some clients wait like 12 months. So even though online here it shows 23 months, and I think what I said, the other one, 14, 15 months, that doesn't mean you actually have to wait that amount of time. Us attorneys that handle mandamus type cases or APA lawsuits, which I'll explain more about that in a second, but you don't have to wait what it shows in processing time online, because literally they could just have some web programmer and just literally update it manually. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's ridiculous. Do I think it's accurate here? I don't think so, but I honestly think they just made up numbers to some extent. It's very misleading. And it's very unfortunate that they're doing this. I wish they could provide more context on this. That's what they put here. What does this processing time mean? We generally process cases in order we receive them. This processing time is an estimate how long it will take us to process your case based on the number of pending cases we have. Each case is unique, and some may take longer than others. Sure, I get that. But it would be nice if they have a different way, like the Domino's pizza tracker. But, they're not going to spend millions of dollars on that. So Pella, hopefully it won't take long for yours. It's very important, folks, because some, you may have children abroad and they're about to age out or something. And hopefully a CSPA will work to preserve the age out or lock in the age to be under 21, but you never know. Okay. So time to get that done. Let's see. Oh, I did want to mention one other thing about lawsuits. There's another type of lawsuit we've talked about unreasonable delay under the Mandamus Act. There's another one called APA, Administrative Procedures Act, and it's basically meaning like if you've been incorrectly denied USCIS, and if they denied your application. Now, of course, you should talk to a lawyer to see if you're eligible for it. If the facts presented indicate that definitely USCIS has incorrectly denied you, then let's file it. That's called an APA lawsuit. It's based on a phrase we call arbitrary and capricious decision. So that's another option for folks that I don't know why I don't think I've ever mentioned it on a live show before, but we've had some new clients recently ask us to do that. So yeah, that's another option because some people first, understandably, if someone gets denied, they're quick to say, let's refile the application. But some scenarios, and some people do that because they want the work permit, let's say for a 45 application. But in some other scenarios, it may be a mistake, or or USCIS did it on purpose, or they don't know what the hell they were doing, yeah, then we file a lawsuit, okay? APA lawsuit. Lavi on TikTok, I-360 VAWA name was updated. What does that mean? That could mean if you hired a new lawyer recently, or the past year, they finally updated it. I recall that happening to us, and so not a big deal, not an issue. Nothing to do with your actual case processing. At what point do they send notice of intent deny? Number one, if you believe you did not provide sufficient evidence to talk about, let's say, for example, about marriage or any other case, then yeah, they're more likely to send a notice of intent deny. Or if you had a site visit, of course, you believe that your case is bona fide marriage, a real marriage, but maybe USCIS doesn't think so, and they sent some, I think they call it fraud and detection officers there to do a site visit, then yeah, expect annoying. It's just likely going to happen. Let's see what else. Let's see. Okay, Slavi, I think I answered your question. I answered this question too. All right, Maria, let's go to the next person. I answered that one too. Safana, you don't watch football or basketball. You're a soccer fan. Okay. Hey, by the way, what's going on with the World Cup? Let's check it out real quick. Let's take a moment. Let's take a momentary break from immigration news. What's going on with the World Cup? Oh, shoot. Okay. Let me share my screen here. All right. We got, sorry for those that don't care about football or soccer. Spain won today 2-1 over Sweden. And it was a semifinal. I think it's always kind of cool to see. Let's check out the bracket. So we got Australia and England facing off for the Women's World Cup tomorrow at 5 a.m. Central Time. I think they know my time. All right, cool. So Spain made it to the finals. Interesting. All right. Anyways, yeah. Okay, Safana, but are you a cheesehead? That was the first question. Do you love cheese? Do you get cheese curds? I did when I got there. I visited one time. Pella, you're welcome. Happy to help. Yeah, it is too much. The USCIS can be confusing on purpose. You miss your husband. Well, any way we can help, please let us know. Okay, Pella. Don't be straight. Don't be shy. We're happy to help. DM us, text us. We're different than many law firms. I think you can tell now. Ravel on TikTok, you applied for your wife petition I-130, but not receipt letter received 2 months ago, I think they're just saying. Oh, but not the receipt letter. Then what did you receive 2 months ago? Or they should have received it 2 months ago. So hopefully it sounds like you have tracking number for mailing, but then you want to submit an inquiry. And I know it's strange, but you want to submit an inquiry on USCIS. I say strange because typically they ask for a receipt notice, but they do have an option on tools and resources page on uscis.gov for lost receipt number or have not received it, something like that. User, this might be the last question. Because we're at 59 minutes now. User, you're being asked for evidence for continuous residence for pending I-485. Is this unusual? Typically, when they ask for continuous residence, it's based on a T visa or U visa. I can't remember of other scenarios, so not trying to disclose your situation, but yeah, they ask for that. If it's a regular 485, not regular, but if it's through a marriage case, then that's overboard. They shouldn't have to ask you. So in some situation like this, if it was incorrect request, for us, we would appropriately, professionally say, this is silly, basically, or we already provided this. But if it's not, Maria, I found this other comment I want to pin. Your mom died our condolences. Will they come up to your house to collect credit card? So that's a probate type question for estate. Well, it's not estate planning anymore, but a probate question. If you're in Texas, we can refer you to another law firm, or even if you're not in Texas, I'm in a group with other lawyers. We share information with each other. So DM us and let us know what county and city or state you live. All right. I'll try to point you in the right direction. All right. Let's see what else. Okay. We're at 1 hour. We usually go 30 minutes. But I got to head out, y'all. Click on your screen and smash the hearts on IG and click the thumbs up. Okay. Facebook and YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. Check us out at greencardguys.com, and we look forward to assisting you. It'll be our pleasure. All right. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care now.